times we had. I see it now, I see it now. Real love, now I'll break through to show to you that I'm more good than I am bad. I'll work it out, I'll work it out. And I'll be somewhere that you need me, and I'll be holding my breath, waiting for you to show. I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, XL and Huber, way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah, I got the juice. Yeah, I got the juice. Big game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing.
I don't wanna see you while you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, I still spin inside your orbit. Yeah. You say that I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you stop and make me have to stay, cause I'm floating in your orbit. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space, just my luck. Push me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand, call my name, you understand, I wanna stay. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. Just my luck. Push me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to yet another installment of a CF1 Valorant broadcast. It's me, Beanies, joined alongside a familiar face here, Speezy, as we have ourselves a pretty interesting matchup here where we have University of Houston Premier taking on University Waterloo Gold.
Yeah, super excited about this matchup tonight, Beanies. There's a lot on the line between these two teams. Depending on the outcome of the next matchup with the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, one of these two teams could be playing for either the #1 seed or they could be playing for their tournament life. So a lot on the line tonight, but we have to get there first. So it's going to be an absolute banger of a match. Both of these teams have to show up here.
Yeah, and I know I personally have had the pleasure of casting University of Houston quite a few times. I know we had a cast with them ourselves, but this is going to be my first time taking a look at University of Waterloo Gold. And why don't we just start off by listing off these players? We got University of Waterloo with the likes of Toph, Vex, This is Crown, Damo, and Rodzi, with University of Houston Premier rounding it up with Koi, Adam Soliman, Wing, Eric Appleson, and Lee Munway. And for those of you who may be familiar with these two teams, specifically University of Houston, a player that we want to bring to your attention, a player that you need to watch out for tonight, and I know for a fact our production team is a big fan of Eric Appleson, the Cypher on University of Houston. He is a monster on that Sentinel role, managing to find top frags time and time again. But Speezy, I know you want to talk about many more of these guys.
Absolutely. Eric Appleson is your observer's favorite player. No matter who's observing, your observer's favorite player is going to be Eric Appleson. But I also don't want to take away from the side of University of Waterloo. Damo on the Omen has been going huge, averaging a 1.26 KD. 234 combat score, so very, very well done on the Omen. But not to be outshined, Toph on those duelists of the Jet and the Reyna, averaging about a 244 combat score. So hopefully we can see some great duelist action, get those first bloods, and win the Battle of the Jet. Adam Soliman has brought it out once or twice before. I really want to see if they can do that again, because as we all know, Jet diff is going to be the biggest thing in this matchup. It looks like we're playing on map #1 is going to be Bind, and map #2 is going to be on Ascent. So Jet can really have her way on both of these maps here.
Yeah, and something to point out is both these teams have found success with bind. University of Houston, 2 times they've played this map with a 59.38 round win percentage, whereas University of Waterloo coming in 4 times with a 53.54% round win percentage. So overall, these two teams coming out on top more often than not. But with bind being such a defensive sided map, you're going to start to wonder how it could favor the likes of Houston, who got to pick defense first, and how you think that might factor into how they play this map out.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan for teams that get to play the defensive side first. You're allowed to kind of warm up a bit easier into the game. If you're playing on the attack side first, you have to force those issues. You have to force those duels. Whereas if you're on the defensive side, sit back, hold angles, play a bit more passive, and let those shots come to you. So I really want to see what Waterloo's going to do to kind of shake Houston up. There's plenty of VODs for them to go back and watch on this map of University of Houston. So I really want to see if the teams have done their homework on each other tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be very crucial. I know coming from experience, University of Houston has impressed on the broadcast. We already talked about Eric Appleson being one of those players, but I think one of the most impressive parts of their team is that in of itself, the team that they play in, their teamwork. It's incredible. They do a great job. They have fantastic executes. They come in practice and prepared. Unfortunately, they have had some games where they didn't happen to go their way. I know you and I casted them going up against Rutgers, but with that game being a 2-0, that really didn't feel like too dominant of a series for a lot of it. University of Houston really just needs to make sure that they shore up their weaknesses that they once had. And since they're already 2-0 in this group, it seems like that they have themselves ready to take down their demons in the Scarlet Knights the next time they get a chance to look at them. But like we said, they got to get through tonight's match up first, which, as we say that, we're going to get a cute little transition here into Agent Select. And, you know, Speezy, I don't think we've had a chance to commentate over this new Agent Select screen together, but I am a massive fan of it. And you can see, wow, University of Waterloo coming in hot, insta-locks. University of Houston just a little slower there, but nonetheless getting those quick picks in. And you can see University of Waterloo Gold going to be loading up with a very similar composition here to their opponent. But Speezy, I want to let you talk. What are you hoping to see here on Bind, and how do you feel about what you saw?
So, bit upset. This is the first week that we are seeing Sky. She is active. She is ready. She is waiting. So, looking at that agent draft screen, we are not going to see a Sky tonight. Players are going to stick to what they're comfortable on, especially when both of these teams are 2-0. It makes sense. They want to bring their best effort, and you can't mess it up with something you're not too well practiced on. So, again, Damo on that Omen is going to be a huge player to watch. This is Crown on the Sova. This is going to be a fun matchup. Eric Appleson is the top fragging cipher in this tournament. I'd be willing to guarantee it. The man does not miss shots. He's always there for his team, and I'm just very excited to see these matchups right now.
And as you can see, the Agent Selects come in. Adam Soliman on the Phoenix here, Koi going on to the Rays, as that's really going to be the only difference between these two teams here, with that Phoenix versus the Jet there. So you got to assume that an operator is going to be one of the ultimate objectives there for University of Waterloo, whereas University of Houston Premier with that Phoenix pick, you can assume that they're going to be going for a lot more quick executes on the site. They're going to be looking for a lot more sure flashes entry, giving a little bit of an avenue for maybe the Rays to follow up afterwards, and have to see if that slight change in composition is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, as this first push onto B is going to be a quick one coming out there from University of Houston. They have decided to hit the ignition here, Speezy, and it's going to be all cylinders fully throttled. 2 members going to go down there for the defense, make that 3, and all of a sudden this quick offense has flipped the site on its head, forcing Waterloo into a bad retake.
Yeah, it's going to be Rodzi and Vec trying to retake this site. 2v5 situation for the University of Waterloo. And UH Premier starting this one off with a bang. We said they were going to have to take a lot of fights, and that's exactly what they did. They pushed together. That's the teamwork you mentioned earlier in this cast. So very well done, very clinical. And now we're going to start to see a little bit more, I would say, slow-paced action come out. We should see something more of a fight for showers. Adam Solomon with his patented, I'm going to buy fully second round and bet the house. This could either pay in dividends or could be an absolute disaster for Adam Solomon. I don't know that I agree with putting it on the Phoenix. Maybe you give him the Stinger and let him entry on that, and let Lee Munway take that Vandal to kind of second frag into a site. But this is going to be interesting. You know, Find is one of those maps where one portion of the map can easily make or break. And Koi, that's some huge intel from the Boombot.
Yeah, a useful piece of equipment at the start of a round, but Toph is going to break the barrier. They're going to take down one. Wing is going to respond, so frenzies are going crazy so far, ladies, gentlemen, everyone else. But the site is going to be under control here. It's actually going to be, yeah, it's going to be site A for the moment, but with back and forths coming through, UH Premier, they have a 3 versus 2, but those health bars don't give them as much room as you would think this numbers advantage could, as this is Crown and his Omen are going to have quite a few shots to work with, but Adam Solomon is going to avoid every single bullet, dancing in the rain there, my friend, and with only one member of the defense left here against what looks like a fully kitted out health bar between these 3 final members. UH Premier is going to win out the round. Damo is going to walk it back towards spawn, and just like that, it's going to be a 2-0 start here for University of Houston.
Yeah, and if you're University of Houston, you're very excited and very happy with the way this map has started. Too many times we'll see a team force by the second round and then throw. As I say that, though, Damo gets a huge 2-piece right there to do some damage to the economy of UH Premier. And it looks like Adam Solomon, the one who had that Vandal, was taken down there as well. So a bit of a disaster, as their economy won't be in the best place. But hey, they'll take that second round on the board. If you win the pistol and lose the subsequent round, that's always a big old feels bad, man. So you hate to see that. But like I said, I was saying earlier, the fight for Showers is going to make or break this map, in my opinion. If you can get Showers control and take control of that A site, that is going to be the world of a difference. Not only being able to look out at heaven, but also being able to watch that back alley as well of the A site. So I'm really interested as if we see a team start to take advantage of that Showers position.
Well, we're going to see University of Houston try to take advantage of this A short, as they're trading utility right now. A raised grenade does come out, but unfortunately just sprays paint all over the place. And it's going to be a cautious start here to the third round. The first evened out by, since that pistol round, you could argue, with University of Houston and University of Waterloo being able to trade blows with these assault rifles. But as you can see, Damo on your screen is stuck with that Spectre still. Not going to be running into anybody here in Hookah. And it looks like after some brief deliberation, University of Houston might be hitting that go button.
Yeah, this UH Conga line is getting ready to take over. As Koi with the judge gonna pop their way into lamps, find one. Spike will go down, but Vex is spray that spike down just a bit, gets the kill onto Vex's Eric Appleton. And this is just a free-for-all at this point. Toph finds 2. Can they find the third player in Showers? It's a 3v3 here. UW Gold with the health disadvantage, as this is Crown finds 1, but the paint can't. Taking out Crown, you hate to see it.
Yeah, that's leaving the 2v2 here on the site. HP bars in the favor of University of Houston, but at this point, at this range, it's anybody's battle. It's going to be 1-1 trades here. Assault rifle versus submachine gun, and Lee Mun Wei with the assault rifle, asserting dominance in that 1v1, taking the third round here from University of Houston.
Yeah, that's going to be the prime axe difference. That was a huge win for Lee Mun Wei to get UH Premier their third round on the board. Very, very solid start from them so far. This isn't... Oh, interesting position here from Koi. Are they trying to get up onto the sign of market? I've never seen this one before. This might be one for the Reddit clips.
Throw it up there while you're at it. It's just time to explore the map, you know. Sometimes when you're just feeling good, you want to go on a little exploration. And yeah, it looks like that exploration is going to take them to new territories here. Be long. We have yet to see University of Houston take this route here, and off the back of a recon drone and a boombot, it looks like they're going to enter on the site, and Adam Solomon is going to find that first blood here. A second blood as well, looking for the trifecta here, but Eric Appleton takes that round. And now UW Gold, with only pistols, are going to just be giving up this round here. A flawless Thrifty, and honestly, that's what you would expect after such a tough third round, Speezy, for OU Houston.
Absolutely. And Beanies, I have to ask, was that just a dry peek from the side of UH Premier? They used no utility. I didn't see the curveball come out from Adam, and I didn't see the paranoia from Lee Mun Wei. So they used Damo smokes against him, went to the smoke criminal status, and just peaked with no utility.
Yeah, and that's exactly how you want to handle when you're expecting an eco round from your opponents. So, University of Houston minimizing their losses in that quick round win here, and Waterloo hoping to get a little bit of credits for that sacrifice, but Adam Soliman still precise with that Vandal, is going to take first blood yet again here on the Phoenix.
Yeah, that Phoenix is doing what Phoenix is meant to do. They're a duelist. They got to find these frags. Does Eric Appleson know there's a second one there? Went on the long flank from Fountain. Is he going to get spotted?
Oh no, Leland Way gets snuffed out. You hate to see it in transition with the axe out. And now Toph is going to try and get some shots into Eric Appleson, but no such luck as Koi just happens to use that ultimate, gets the rocket a little bit off range, but you know what? The showstopper sometimes has to put the stop to the show up in the sky, you know? And University of Waterloo Gold are just trying to put a stop to University of Houston's party here, but the Premier has the red carpet lined up. A Crown is trying to crash that show here with one shot onto the attacking team, but the bomb will be getting planted here, and a nice ultimate squeeze.
30
Crown
seconds
will be
left.
stopping that plant, but it's only delaying the inevitable, I think.
I'm not too sure here. That was a huge ultimate from Crown because it was able to tag Adam Solomon down to 36%. They're going to pop the run it back, and Adam, you have to go to work with this. It's a 2v2 situation, 36 HP. That's going to be the run it back pop. They don't know where his body is, but shock darts coming in from Crown. Crown finds one. Can he find Wing? Sova v Sova. Recon dart immediately blasted in. Crown with a 3K for the round. Gonna put UW Gold on the board with their first round. Very well done, and great patience from the side of Crown right there, waiting for their teammate and using the Hunter's Fury to delay that spike plant. Very well done, and they are on the board.
Yeah, about time there for University of Waterloo. This is not something we would expect for them to do, go down 4-0 so early on, as they have gotten themselves quite a few wins. They took University of Houston to the brink last time, I believe. Did they may have actually beat University of Houston. Gotta double check the score of their previous meeting, but regardless of that fact, they are very competitive with University of Houston Premier, and it's about time we see Waterloo wake up, and I'm hoping this is going to be a few rounds they can string together off the back of a good start from that round 5, and a good start here from Toph, as I was going to try and say, but their eco is low. Well, eco won't matter too much when you start landing these shots. Rodzi woke up too. University of Houston, they're getting knocked back to bed here. Waterloo has woken up, Speezy.
They absolutely have, and I was just about to compliment Vex there for the double blast pack. That was pretty, but Wings Hunter's Fury was prettier. And you spoke about the last time these two teams met. University of Waterloo took the game on Bind 14-12 in overtime, and UW Gold takes the second round as well. So even last time, it was hotly and tightly contested. But I have to say, University of Waterloo, they've got these 2 rounds on the board. They need to get this snowball rolling. This is a defensive-sided map. They need to warm up and start racking these rounds up. Optimally, you want to look at, about a 7-5 half. It's going to be very difficult for them to do that. They would have to run back 5 straight at this point. So 7-5 is the goal. You'll settle for a 6-6 as well, though.
Yeah, well, it all starts with getting this third round win under your belt here in round 7, with Rodzi holding down this A short, having to go up against Eric Appleson, who we talked about being a fantastic Cypher player. Rodzi trying to hold their own here, as well as you have an Omen ultimate being thrown out there, but it will be snuffed out as Rodzi gets 1-2. Nicely done there. The Cypher from University of Waterloo coming up big, giving his team a nice little reprieve. And Damo, as the fadeaway shot comes in, Kobe, did you see that? Giving Waterloo that 4-2 lead. Make that 4-1. Waterloo just woke up, and all of a sudden they're kicking and screaming. They're just waiting for this last elimination, and they're going to be sitting real pretty.
Sitting pretty indeed. Damo found their stride, popping off. What's that? Back-to-back 3Ks. I'm going to put some respect on Damo's name. Very, very well done. They popped that ultimate, the Omen ultimate, instead of rotating all the way around through spawn, and that made the world of a difference because Damo, take a bow. They're going to get the third round for UW Gold.
And as we mentioned before, UW Gold is going to be evening this up here with University of Houston. These two teams have shown to be quite even in skill, and now with Waterloo waking up off the back of big plays from the likes of Damo, as you said, Hopefully this is going to be an evening round for them, and
Here.
they need to make sure these defensive round 6, to your point before, having the peeker's advantage is a strong topic here in Valorant, and being able to utilize it on a map like Bind where there's so many different corners and angles you could be holding from. It's really crucial that you use every advantage afforded to you in this game, especially when you're playing at such a high level where the smallest of differences can make the biggest of impacts. As a big impact is going to be thrown down there. It's going to be an explosion with a grenade and a blast pack. They're trading out 1-for-1, but Lehman Way going to break the Camel's back with Wing as well, giving University of Houston 2 kills. But Vex showing up from above the window from hell is going to peek in and say hello, my friends. Vex with only 1 member left standing from that 4K. The Raze here is going to try and throw some paint cans into his face, but when he's blinded from all that color, he can't land these shots, baby. Vex picking up a 4K. University of Waterloo even up the rounds here, Speezy.
Vex was a monster right there, staying extremely patient, finds the 2K from Hookah, the third with the with the Vandal after blast packing over and onto site to kind of confuse Adam Solomon. Very well done, Vex waking up, take a bow. That was a great round, and one thing we're seeing a lot of right now for UW Gold is just extreme pop-offs, right? We've had back-to-back 3Ks from we had back-to-back 3Ks from Damo. Vex with their own, I believe that might have been a 4K as well.
4K, yeah.
So we're not seeing Toph. Just stop it. That was just naughty.
And
we're not seeing the team. We're not seeing defaults that are staying held. We're not seeing great retakes. These guys are just going at it right now. This is just, hey, we're in aim labs and we're just gonna try and click heads.
Oh, Rodzi again, beating out Adam Solomon, who had the operator there. Not something you'll see too often, a Vandal coming out on top of, but lo and behold, you do have it with the University of Waterloo, who now have 3 ultimates in the bank, but they have such a good numbers lead. They don't need to be throwing those away for the longevity, because Speezy talked about wanting to get yourself a 7-5 round score, and maybe 5 minutes ago that seemed a little far-fetched, but now Speezy, that 7-5 is clearly in sight. And Top, if he keeps landing shots like that, my god, you do more than Earthbend, my friend. You handle all 4 elements all of a sudden, and that's going to be University of Houston trying to break through showers here, but no such luck.
Yeah, we're talking about what's in sight, and clearly Eric Appleson was in the sights of Toph. That was a beautiful shot from the ground into Hookah. Still a 2v4, a 4v1, and a 4v none. Toph with a 3K. Again, this is just pure gun skill from the side of UW Gold, right? We're not seeing great utility usage. We're not seeing teammates push together. They're just taking duels and winning right now, and it's working for them.
Yeah, and honestly, that's got to be a little bit of a chip off your shoulder there for University of Waterloo. You got to be feeling special about yourself to come back. You were down 4-0 at one point, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And now to come back, yes, you see 5 rounds in a row. Flip it on its head. I mean, now that's 7-5. It's looking like they could go 8-4 here if they keep the momentum. I mean, the eco is in the favor of University of Waterloo, but what's going to be important here is how Houston uses their utility. They're throwing out cooldowns right now. They're using their smokes. They're using their cages. They're just causing a lot of distractions here, but not getting too much in return for it. And with Toph coming through the back here and putting some pressure onto University of Houston, you gotta wonder if there's an internal clock ticking, and they're going to run full speed into the headlights of Rodzi, taking down 2 of them. And just like that, the offensive push from Houston gets squashed like a bug, and Waterloo is just waiting to finish off the final member of this team.
Absolutely, and I want to highlight something that a couple of you may have missed. Toph creeping their way through Hookah into market and just putting that little bit of pressure on UH Premier, saying, hey, I'm here, I'm pushed up so far on the map. If you want to rotate to B site, you're going to have to go through your spawn and through cave, because you're not getting through me. And that little bit of a difference, that little push from Toph, made UH Premier have to execute, because now if you turn the corner, you're facing Toph straight down, and I mean, Toph's 10-7 right now. They're not going to miss.
No, they will not. And then a lot of those kills have been coming as first bloods. Toph very aggressive on that A short peak, but keeping University of Houston guessing. Waterloo keeps rotating Toph around. Now you see Toph is going to be favoring over on the B side there with a 3-stack. An interesting choice. They must really be expecting some kind of push to come through here from Houston, but it looks like Houston, they're going to be taking their sweet little time here, not going to be choosing any one site. Never mind, Koi's just going to throw out the showstopper, throw out a few bounce pads as well, and unfortunately, those C4s are not going to amount to any kills, and the showstopper is not going to get anything done as well. So Houston throwing some cooldowns out without seeing too much in return, and they're going to be losing their Phoenix as well. This is falling apart now for Premier, and Eric Appleton's going to have to try and keep it together for them as they have 4-on-4 here with the site in control. But Toph picks up 2, and with the spike plant being halted, the delay was just enough for Vex and company to show up, and now University of Houston with only 1 member left standing here, Speezy. It's looking like a UW Gold round win yet again. But let's not put University of Houston out just yet. Maybe Koi has it in him.
What an investment from UH Premier. They invested the showstopper, got very little in return because Rodzi is still alive, and that's not someone you want to be there. You see the Omen from Shadow Step coming out there from the side of Damo just to put Koi off a little bit. You see the picture-in-picture Damo throwing a little shimmy, yeah. Koi's going to take out Vex. He doesn't know where Damo is, but the Boombot hopefully going to scout him out, and this is a nasty-looking crossfire right here from UW Gold. Can Koi make this 2-2v1s? Oh, gets one! Koi! Oh my goodness, Koi! What a play from Koi. As soon as the dark cover came out from Damo, he says, YOLO, we got this. What a peek.
Oh my god. What about that flick? That was a perfect 45 or 90 degree, not 45, excuse me, my angles, but 90 degree
cute
flick.
angles. We're doing right angles here.
God. That was disgusting. Koi dragging his team through that round. When I had counted them out and gave UW Gold that round W, University of Houston was all but down except for Koi, just dragging them on through. And now, as we're waiting for that last round to finish up here in the half, University of Houston, unfortunately for them, they're going to be down a member at the start yet again. And Speezy, it feels like this has been the consistent storyline of the second part of this half.
Yeah, it really is a tale of the two first halves. Or excuse me, that made no sense. It really is a tale of 2 separate teams in this first half of UW Gold. We saw them get steamrolled in the first 4 rounds. It wasn't even close. I could have written this one off as, you know, a 8-3 half or an 8-4 half and would have had nothing to say about it. But they've come back extremely well. Again, 7-5 would be optimal for them here. There's 50 seconds left on the round. It's a 2v3. You have Rodzi, Damo, and I believe that's going to be Vex on the side of UW Gold, and on the side of UH Premier left, that's going to be Lehman Way and Eric Appleton. So 2 very, very capable players on the side of UH Premier. They're definitely not down or out here.
Eric Appleton
30 seconds left.
Up the B side. Gonna try and get onto site here. The 2 members are going to have to take on a much scarier opponent of 3 people, but as you can see, 2 members of University of Waterloo make that 3 members are all focused on this A site. So that's gonna give Houston an opportunity to plant here onto B, and now with the late rotation coming in, the retake is gonna be in full effect, and Lehman Way is gonna try and sneak up through this smoke and maybe get someone through with a spray, but he's playing with fire here. 36 HP in the dream, and just like that, Damo sniffs out the plan. Lehman Way from 0 to 0, and it's going to be on to Eric Appleton. He gets 1. Eric Appleton, you're incredible! A 4K to secure the round for University of Houston, sending us into the second half at a tie.
Eric Appleton just did their best Koi impersonation. I said, anything you can do, I can do better, because Koi won a 2v1 and Eric just ran a 3v1. That was gorgeous. I'm very, very disappointed on the side of UW Gold. You don't know where the player is. You can't all walk into the site from the same exact angle. At least send someone over to elbow to watch a crossfire. You don't know if that player could be short and have the spike planted for short. So very, very disappointed. I know their coach will have something to say about that. I mean, again, it's a 6-6 half. This is anybody's game.
Yeah, and if statistics would predict this game, I'd say that Houston would win just for the defensive side that they get now, but anything can happen here, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone else says University of Waterloo is going to choose A site as their first execute of the half here. It's going to be a quick spike plant going down, and Koi almost disrupting it with a paint grenade, but it's only going to cause a little distraction there. 1-for-1 trade ultimately. Wing, though, a nice shock arrow, a second kill coming in from the Classic. So now University of Houston controlling the site here, and with 2 members left of University of Waterloo, it's not looking very promising. Make it 1. Wing's having a field day. Koi getting the elimination as well, and Premier getting themselves a defuse here, round 1 of the second half.
Yeah, and that was really a fiesta post-plant right there for both teams. We saw a lot of utility being used. We saw recon arrows. We saw shock darts. Great lineup from Wing to know there's probably a player sitting on triple boxes. Let me just throw one out there. I believe he even saw them with the shock dart. So very, very well done on the side of UH Premier. Are they going to full buy here? Let's take a look at the credits. We're going to see 2 Stingers, 2 Spectres, and a Ghost. Not too bad. They have to win this. If you throw this, that's guns over to the side of UW Gold, and you throw away your round advantage as well. So it's a lot easier said than done. But it's again, the cards are in their favor, if you will.
And a big thing to point out, UW Gold, if they want to get themselves back into this half here, a nice way to get back is just pick up a few eliminations here or there. If they can drop 2, 3, maybe even 4 people, that would be fantastic for the 3rd round going ahead. As University of Houston, you said it, really gambling a lot here on this defense. And oh man, look at that rotation. Toph, the lone member left standing here, gonna have to try and smoke bomb their way out of it. But Koi is just gonna keep Toph down, getting an early elimination there for University of Houston Premier before the spike even gets planted. Damo holding down the spike is going to try and make his way over, but Koi holding down lamps is going to make it incredibly difficult to get any kind of presence there onto the site, because you got to get past Koi's line of sight. And that's a 4K here for the Rays from Houston, waiting for that 5th elimination, but Wing taking the air out from his teammate, getting that 5th kill. The flawless for University of Houston, and Speedsy, that went about as well as it could have there for Houston.
Absolutely. Koi looking extremely comfortable on this raise. We saw the right click of the paint can going over the truck right there. That was beautifully placed. Stopped the spike from being planted and bought his team a bit more time. So very well done from Koi. And this is a bit of a change, right? We're used to seeing Eric Appleson top frag. We're used to seeing Lee Munway pick up an operator. But Koi stepping up, going big, and doing a lot of the heavy lifting tonight. So very, very well done so far. Let's see if they can keep this form up. And Crown, unfortunate miss on that recon dart. That's going to reveal the position. I don't know that they got around the corner, though.
Oh, Koi of Rude Awakening there. Damo ready with the Vandal, but Lee Munway responds. It's a back and forth. It's the Spider-Man pointing gift there, ladies and gentlemen. And now with University of Waterloo having that numbers advantage for the offense, that is so important here to take a site. Once you have the numbers advantage and you can guarantee that minus the spike planter, everyone can be watching for another member of the opponent. That's just such a good place to be. You can see here trades coming across in favor of University of Waterloo. And now with Eric Appleson being the only member left, we cannot count him out. University of Waterloo doing a great job here for this comeback. But Eric Appleson, just beautiful with the Phantom. 6 HP in a dream. Gonna have to try and pick up a clutch against 2 members of Waterloo. But this is crowned with a wall bang. Secures the first win of the second half here for UW Gold.
Yeah, and great shot from Crown there. Able to find Eric Appleson through the wall. Pretty easy, pretty spammable shot there, I would say, once you know the location of the Cypher. But I will say I'm a bit shocked that we didn't see a full a save right there from Eric. They picked up the Phantom. They had plenty of health and shields. Get out of dodge, save the 3,900 credits, because now you have to invest that in again, and look at the rest of your team. You're struggling very much so economically. So bit of a questionable decision, but hey, they may know something I don't, because those who can't play cast, or at least we found that out today, didn't we, Beans?
Yeah, that's for sure, Mr. 1 and 14. But
first of all, I carried you.
Nonetheless, UW Gold here is going to have quite the load cut out for them, because even with a round win there, they're going to want to make sure that they don't let up on the ignition, because this is a very capable opponent in Premier. Nice little takedown, a short. Koi just playing with Vex right there. Boombot followed by a headshot. Eric Appleson with a body shot through the boxes, and Oh, Lamp is going to have 2 people walking into it, and Koi is having a rude awakening, but he only knows there's 1 there. So with the satchel charge being met with a shock dart, it's all going to go in the favor of University of Houston. And even with 1 member falling, all of it goes in favor of Houston, and another round win in their back pocket, 9 total.
This duo of Koi and Wing, oh my goodness, when they are next to each other, I'm scared. And I'm not even in the server, so I could only imagine what the side of Waterloo feels right here. Both players with 15 frags, Koi with a ridiculous 10 assists, very, what's the word I'm looking for here, Beans? If you're his teammate, you're excited about that, right? Not only are you getting the job done, you're making everybody else's job a lot easier as well. So if you have a teammate that can do that, you're extremely happy. You want to enable that player to do as much damage as they can. We see on the side of UH Premier, they have the Run It Back, they have the Showstopper, and they have a Hunter's Fury. And on the side of Waterloo, there's going to be a From the Shadows. Has Koi missed a headshot when he peeks short? Because that's like the 4th time in a row. You think UW Gold has to learn their lesson by now.
Oh, the 180 jump pad for Showstopper getting the 2-piece. Followed up by a Phantom kill. Koi just filling up the montage clip folder with that one. Getting UH Premier in a pretty spot, but they gotta be careful they don't throw it away now. This is Crown dropping Eric Appleson, getting the spike plant down. UH Premier gonna try and retake with Damo being the only member going up against them. And yeah, Waterloo gave it a good shot there, but after such a heroic play there, coming in with a 3-piece for the Rays, University of Houston gets themselves their 10th round win. They're in double digits now, Spees.
I mean, I can't say enough about Koi right now, right? That was a backside 360 into Showstopper, 2-piece, no biscuit, maybe a little bit of gravy.
Is this Tony Hawk Underground now?
I was going to say, I know it was just re-released Pro Skater 1 and 2, so Koi's definitely making it seem like it is, but I want to talk about what University of Waterloo Golds can do a bit differently to bring this game back, right? It's gotten a bit out of hand. They've won only 1 round on the attacking side. We're not seeing the entry frags that we need to see. If you look at their team comp, the only real utility they have to kind of flash or stun or put somebody off is going to be the paranoia on the side of Damo. And as far as I'm aware, I haven't seen Damo try and push a site just yet. But as I say that, we see the shower spam. So I want to see University of Waterloo Gold use their utility more. Just don't throw out an aimless dart cover from Omen, and don't throw out just a random Sova recon drone. If you're going to use the utility, use it with intention. Push with that recon drone. Use the paranoia and let Rodzi go to work right there. We're going to see the neural theft come out. That's going to reveal the position. So UH Premier going to back off and possibly play retake.
Yeah, the neural theft coming in, giving a good bit of information there. Now with Waterloo rotating over to B, it looks like they're going to be sending a few members in here to Hookah. I'm never a fan of seeing the spike go into Hookah, so I'm glad that they're taking it a more cautious route with the spike going up B long. But just as I say that, I might have to count my words because they're going to be making me eat them real soon, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be sending everyone into Hookah, and they're going to be hitting the go button off of that. University of Waterloo not waiting at all. An operator shot in the wings, going to be taking down Rodzi as University of Houston with the defense evens it up. But the site is in firm control of the offense, so Waterloo is going to be playing with fire here. But Toph has a really good record with dealing with firebending, my friends. 2 members are going to be falling there by Houston. 2 members going down by Waterloo, and it's just back and forth with the defense having to play off the back of their Omen here. And Lee Mun-wei is set up here on B long, having to try and break a 2 versus 1. He has the HP to possibly take 1 duel, but he's going to have to be very accurate with these shots.
And he has plenty of utility, Beanies. He's got the paranoia, he's got the shadow step, and he has a dark cover. So he can very easily turn this into 2 1v1s, but does not as Toph. Gonna make it 8-10 and a 3K on the round. So very well done. UW Gold, they're trying to get back into it. The showstopper from Vex to get that round started off wasn't the prettiest thing, but I'm glad they used util with intention. It didn't get the frag, but it pushed University of Houston a bit off of the site to allow an entry. So very well done, and I need to see more of that, right? When they started that execute, Beanies, I'm not sure if you saw, but Damo threw a dark cover out onto short A. He also threw one out back B site. I would rather see that dart cover go to elbow and back B site. That way your team can get comfortably on the site and only have to clear 1, maybe 2 positions.
Now Vex is playing with some wall bangs right there, just dancing around hookah. You can see 2 members of Houston are prepared to deal with any pushes coming in through there. And Cypher lending them that help over on A site, so it's going to be pretty difficult for Waterloo to get anything done under the nose of Houston, but looks like they're adjusting their sights here onto A Speezy. It's going to be a 2-3 break here in the showers. You can see Jet and Cypher are going to be pushing up through there. You got to wonder if Jet's going to be able to break out through those showers, but nobody's going to be in heaven for them. So this is going to be a pretty free take there until Koi from CT is going to be lying in wait. And now with the run it back coming up, Adam Solomon is going to be trying to carry his team. A one-man army is going to be charging onto the battlefield, but only one person fell thanks to that ultimate. And as the spike is going to get planted here, ladies and gentlemen, it is in favor of the defense, but not for very long until Vex and Wing end up trading blows. And you know what? It's still going to be in favor of the defense here. Lehman Way with a judge showing off why you take it in the close quarters. And Houston gets their 11th round win here on Bind, just 2 away from taking game 1.
I'm not going to lie. I like the idea from This Is Crown waiting for the player from B site to rotate. I mean, you're 19 rounds in. The last thing I would be expecting is a judge to walk around that corner. So power to you. It works. It gets the job done. We'll take that round. This is still a very, very close matchup, right? I think the economy right now is in a terrible spot for UW Gold, but this game is far from over. There's still plenty of Valorant left to play. 2 more rounds for UH Premier will take this thing and move on to the next map, which would be Ascent. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We still have another round coming up for you right here. Vex going to send that Boombot out short and look to do a bit of information gaining. And Lehman Way, did they not? Excuse me, Lehman Way picked up a Vandal last round to end it, possibly threw it to a teammate and is going to hold down Hookah. Oh, this could be bad. This could be extremely bad. Please don't peek, Damo. Please don't peek. He's going to peek, isn't he, Beanies?
I think he's gonna... Oh. No, he backs up. He gets 1 elimination, but Lehman Way is not able to get any shots off onto that cheeky little Omen from UW Gold. Now, with a paint canister thrown in there, you cannot deal with that explosion for too long, Omen. 42...
They know he's here.
Yeah, they have to know he's here. I mean, you could hear the grunt, I think, when the explosion goes off. So Vex, fully aware, but do they know they're going to be dealing with a judge, jury, and executioner? Oh my god, the trigger finger, and then he just goes forward. He says, screw it, I'm going to run the show here, ladies and gentlemen. Lehman Way taking down Vex there, but on the other side of the map, it's going to be A-Site firmly in control for a moment of UW Gold's time, but they're going to lose that just as quickly
30
with a
seconds
nice
left.
CT cover coming in from University of Houston. So we still have, it's really up in the air which site they're going to go to, but with Hookah being crowded up with 2 members, you got to assume it's going to be B site, and the execute is going to be coming through here very shortly. They do push on to site, yes, and
Rodzi, check your corners, buddy.
oh, there you go.
10
Koi
seconds
going to be
left.
taking down Rodzi as he was
LA
fucking
remaining.
around. Eric Appleson getting 1 as well, and Wing finishing it up at the end. 3 members, each getting their own unique elimination there, and we're going to be going into the final, possibly the final round here for Houston, 12-8.
Yeah, map point number
Match
1
point.
for the side of University of Houston. Again, this was Waterloo's pick, so a bit of an upset. Granted, there's only 4 maps that are playable and competitive right now. You should be comfortable on every single one. UW Gold won this map last time these 2 teams met, 14-12 in overtime, so they would have to run back 6 straight right now, right here. I mean, if I'm the side of Waterloo, you don't have much to invest in this round, right? You have the Jet Ultimate. You're 1 away from a From the Shadows. You have to try and fight for an ulti orb somewhere. That way you have the From the Shadows teleport on the side of Omen. But, I mean, look at the ultimates for UH Premier. Koi's got a showstopper. That, in and of itself, that's mic drop. That should be the round.
You guys have to keep a lookout for this Blade Storm that Toph could pull out as well, with University of Waterloo really needing a miracle on 34th Street to happen here, folks. It's going to be up to these 5 remaining lives to get the job done, and Vex gives theirs up, and Toph goes down already. No Blade Storm is going to be available for University of Waterloo in the 21st round, folks, and on top of that, 3/5 of the team is not going to be available anymore because they only have Damo and they only have their Sova. And after that, it's all University of Houston. But we've seen clutches before, and Damo has shown to be one of the most proficient members here as he gets a second elimination. So, Waterloo, they could be doing this. Their Omen is pretty clean.
I mean, right now it looked like Koi was just straight inting right there. Blast Pack out, doesn't get the showstopper off. Doing their best impression of Meat earlier today on Icebox, but Wing plays for team, shut it down. Map number 2 up next. That was a great half for the side of UH Premier. I think they only dropped, what was that, 2, maybe 3 rounds? So very, very well done from them. Their defense looks solid. It looks clean. They did their homework, Beanies.
Oh, yeah, they did their homework. They showed up to school, notebooks, number 2 pencils and all. Very well done, University of Houston.
Did they have masks on?
Maybe
it was virtual learning. I'm not too sure.
I mean, you gotta send a good message with that virtual learning. But let's take a look at the scoreboard, and you would think that this was intended, ladies and gentlemen, because it is. Look at that split up right there. We got Toph trying to carry their team through this tough game, but with those numbers being put up by Houston, I mean, Koi and Wing leading the charge. We didn't even talk up them nearly as much as we did Eric, but across the board, we saw stellar performances from Houston. So
yeah,
really, really well deserved.
And one thing I want to point out, I know we've been talking about Koi that last map. Look at the first bloods. 7 first bloods. That's ridiculous. I mean, it looks like he peeked the site, got the frag, got out of dodge. Or pop the showstopper, let me just run it down short A and grab another 2-piece with a little side of gravy on it. So very well done from the side of UH Premier. We are moving on to their map pick as well. That's going to be Ascent. Last time these two teams met, Waterloo took that one 13-11, so still hotly contested. But again, these teams have been in the lab, they've been studying, and I can't wait to see what we get out of these two teams. Because again, Sky's still available, Beanies. You might have to pull something out here, low pocket pick. Maybe we see a Viper, wishful thinking, I don't know. But hey, we got a great second map coming up for you guys. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned, stay tight, and we'll be right back.
Times we had, I see it now. I say it now. Real love, now I'll break through to show to you that I'm more good than I am bad. I work it out, I work it out. And I'll be somewhere that you need me, and I'll be holding my breath, waiting for you to show. Yeah, somewhere deep inside of you, I know you want me. You're just afraid to say. Real love, now I see you, and I'll make it through to find a life that we both had. I see it now, I feel it now. Real love, now I see you, yeah, you know I do, to make it through the times we had. I see it now, I see it now. Real love, now I'll break through to show to you that I'm more good than I am bad. I work it out, I work it out. And I'll be somewhere that you need me, and I'll be holding my breath, waiting for you to show.
Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, everybody else, and it is time for game number 2 between University of Houston Premier and University of Waterloo Gold. I'm Beanies, joined by Speezy here, and we just had a game number 1 which I feel was defined by one thing and one thing alone, and that is mechanical outplays.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it multiple times from both sides, right? We didn't see the greatest utility usage, but when it came down to it, these players can straight up aim. And I'm looking at Koi because there were some nasty flicks. There was a 180 with the showstopper. Granted, it's a rocket launcher. It's hard to miss, but still, beautiful, beautiful plays from both of these teams. You know, coming into this match, I expected a bit more, like I said, a bit more utility usage, a bit more creative expression, if you will. I want to see something different, but they gave us pretty much some more of the same, some great mechanical outplays, like you said, and some great highlight reel frags. But as we get loaded in, second map is going to be Ascent. Waterloo will be on defense, and both these teams locking in their comps relatively quickly. I'd be very shocked if we see Wing on something other than Sova. We haven't seen him play anything else just yet, but maybe he's hovering, waiting for that Sky.
Yeah, Sky is available now, ladies and gentlemen. First week she is going to be available for play. We have yet to see her in tonight's series, but with one member of UH Premier holding off on their agent select, that does leave a sliver of hope. But as my co-caster said, it was most likely going to be that Sova. And as you can see here, folks, we are going to have a mirrored composition for this game number 2 between these two teams. And when it comes down to mirror composition, folks, that basically is who is going to execute better. You have the same exact tools at your disposal. You have the same exact agents. The only difference is going to be the person behind the screen here. And so far, University of Houston has shown up much bigger to this moment. But we can't discredit Waterloo either, Speezy, because that first half Waterloo made it look like an entirely different game than what it ended up being.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they ran 6 rounds straight. They had their economy flowing. Their shots were hot. So it's interesting. It was really a tale of 2 completely different teams. Like I said, we had those 6 straight rounds, but then when we got down to it, when the results started to really, really matter and really start to rack up, it looks like they lost their touch just a bit. But Adam Solomon on the Jet, Lehman Way going to be on Omen duty. Koi going to be on the Duelist in Reyna. Eric Appleson on that patented Cypher, and Wing on Sova. So that's going to be a very, very fun match to watch, because Sova on Ascent has so many different lineups, and there's so many things that you can bank these arrows off of. I'm excited. I hope Wing prepared something nice for us tonight.
Now, as you can see, Spike is not being carried at all yet, so a very cautious start here from UW Gold. Being on the offense, you don't want to throw away any opportunities too quickly. You got to assume Peaker's advantage is going to be strong here, and Houston has shown to be very capable of taking advantage of that. It's just going to be relying on how Gold can misdirect these defenders with what looks like 3 separate fronts here from the offense. But A-Site is the common denominator between all of these, and as 2 members pretty pushed up here, Lehman Way is going to be playing with fire. That Shorty is going to be able to take down 1, but you're going to be asking for a lot to get a double kill here, as they're just waiting for the opportunity as the spike comes around. And I think this is about to all go absolutely crazy in about 15 seconds.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, and if you look at the minimap, UH Premier hasn't rotated everyone just yet, and what a round of trades. I mean, I couldn't even decipher what just happened right there. We saw Toph Jet dash onto site, and then it was just all hell broke loose. That was chaos. But both teams still with a 3v3. This retake is going to be very doable. You may want to wait for that Sova arrow if you are the side of UH Premier. And Toph and Adam Solomon just walked right past each other in the dark cover.
Yeah, a little bit of a confusion there in the smoke, but Adam Solomon only needs 1 bullet to get the job done, taking down the Jet counterpart, leaving us with a 3-on-2, and the defense trying to get themselves just a clear opening to defuse. But Damo, with a single clip, takes down 3 members of the defense, and UW Gold opens up with their own nifty mechanical outplay.
Damo needs to hit Shift, Enter, and apologize in all chat right now. That was just naughty. Did he tap the person in the back defusing the spike second and then take out Adam Solomon? That was a nuts play from Damo. Very well done. And again, those are the mechanical outplays that Bean spoke about maybe a minute and a half ago. This is going to be fun if that's what we're in for tonight.
Yeah, now with the second round, though, the offense having that credit advantage is going to feel really, really nice here. Pushing into a defense that's under-equipped makes it a hell of a lot easier. And Rodzi starts off very nicely, getting 1. Make that 2 eliminations here for the Cypher from Waterloo. And all attention has been turned onto him as he gets a 3K. And that's going to be almost a guaranteed round win here for University of Waterloo. I mean, Lehman Way is going to be the lone member, but he seems like the transitional elimination. Rodzi, though, actually does get dropped there. So even though that's going to be a round 1 by Waterloo, they do lose 1. So going to have to pick up their friendly teammate who lost their gun there. But overall, very well worth it, Speezy.
Yeah, very well worth it indeed. And this map, right, we want to see one thing in particular, and that's mid control. Whichever team can establish their presence middle first is going to be a bit more victorious or have some more successful rounds, I would say. If you're the attacking side, you're looking to push Catwalk, send maybe 2 or 3 players down Arch, and get mid control, because then from there you can go into spawn and you can have your choice of the sites. But it's also a great way to find some flanks. We've seen it in some pro play recently, where players are pushing through Catwalk and into Garden, and then going that way and attacking from Heaven. So there's a lot of opportunity that you have when mid control is established. And right now, dark covers have been thrown out on mid as well as B Link. So nothing too crazy, just standard defaults, I would say, all around.
Yeah, but a very quick go button there for University of Waterloo, picking up 1-2 eliminations there before the spike even gets planted. And maybe Houston can get themselves out of here, but Radzi's going to squash that hope for Adam Soliman with Koi trying to defend these remaining few members of Houston. It's going to be University of Waterloo holding down the fort here. They have the spike planted. They have control of this site. The HP bars, I guess overall you could say, are in their favor, but they're still going to have to be cautious here as Radzi and Damo play it near perfection, picking off the remaining two members, getting Waterloo off to a hell of a start here, Speed.
Absolutely, and that was a huge first gun round for Waterloo. That gets the confidence going. And look, this is what we saw UH Premier do last map, right? They went up 4 rounds, and they established dominance before losing 6 straight, I believe it was. So I really, really want to see, can UW Gold keep the economy of UH Premier in the dumps? Look at this buy right now. We have 3 sheriffs and a stinger, and full shields on Adam. That's an odd choice, but hey, we don't talk about those. You better make it work in Koi. What? You shouldn't be able to win that. Toph, what are you doing, buddy? You got to get that frag right there. That's a huge, huge pick for the side of UH Premier.
Yeah, there's a new sheriff in town there, buddy.
Okay,
Rod,
Beanies is in timeout for a minute. We were doing so well, Beanies. We made it an entire map before the puns came out. It looks like the Blade Storm was popped for Adam Soliman as well. That may explain the full buy of the armor, but Damo and Crown go to work. Lehman Way is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and possibly even a Sova as well. Oh, it looks like Sova's going to start to rotate. That's going to be Crown looking to link up with their buddies on the A site. Damo's, can he do it? Yes, he can. Beanies, you are out of timeout. I would relinquish your duties back to you. That was a beautiful round from the side of UW Gold.
Oh, yeah, thank you, my friend. But it was a lovely round from UW Gold, and really, they're just continuing to put the pressure on University of Houston. You know, you would expect that post-bye round to be sort of hard on the losing team, so understandable that University of Houston was going to drop that round. But now, with another full bye coming in from them, they're really going to start to need a real effect on the gold economy. I'm sorry, I just saw Damo was at a perfect scoreline so far. 7 kills, 0 deaths. So really an entirely different time around, with UW Gold being firmly in the driver's seat on a map that they picked first and foremost. So definitely makes sense that they want to be running Ascent.
Yeah. Yes, it is. That is the pick of, I believe, UW Gold for Ascent. But like I said, both of these teams, last time we saw them meet, Houston took this, or excuse me, UW Gold took this map 13-11. So still hotly contested. But right now, this is looking like a totally different Waterloo team right now than what we saw last map. Koi is 1-4-1, if I'm not mistaken. So Reyna's a feaster or famine character. Excuse me, 1-4-0. If Koi's not getting frags, Koi can't really do much but other than throw out a Lear here and there, right? We need to see them use the dismiss. We need to see them use the overheal and cause chaos, because that's what she does. As I say that, though, it looks like the execute is coming out. UW Gold gonna push onto this B site. Wing finds one. That's gonna be Vex going down. Oh, all 3 players snuck right past the stronghold, and now Wing locked in backvote by themselves, finds one.
Oh, they cannot get the outplays though. Crown and Damo are going to be finding a few shots here, and the spike needs to get planted.
10 seconds left.
As it's going to go down with 10 seconds just being eclipsed here. But Limon Wei actually shows up late to the party, putting a stop to the spike being planted there. And the defense, they just have to hold out here, and they're going to be winning out the round. And Eric Appleson, smart choice, keeping himself alive, getting UH their first round win here of Ascent. Very important for this team, but they did lose 4/5 of their team, so a lot of hurt bank accounts this round.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting buy here. They all have enough, or most of them have enough credits to do a full buy, but I don't see them forcing that right now. Let's see, we see a light shield come on to Koi with a Phantom. Three Phantom. Oh, a full buy. Oh boy, please, please, please don't let this go terribly for UH Premier. This could be an even more uphill battle if they throw this round here. because their economy, there was a couple of players on 0 credits, and I believe 2 of them less than 500 credits. So UH Premier, they have to win this round, or things are going to go from bad to worse very quickly. And look at the camera from Eric Appleson. That's going to show all of Catwalk. I don't know if Lehman Way knows that's where the camera was placed from Eric Appleson, kind of blocking the vision onto Cat, but we do see a little bit of mid-control coming out for UW Gold as they make their way into Tree Room.
Yeah, and this camera placement is so beautiful. It's going to do such a good job at picking off one member of UW Gold, and yes, you'll see there it does sniff out, I believe, their Jet, who had to take a step back for a moment, give them a bit to reprieve. And the utility usage right now by UH is doing a great job at holding up Gold. They can't push through these smokes. They can't push through the camera that Cypher set up. It's really difficult. They're sending this drone in here, hopefully to get some information, along with the Lear. And just like that, they're going to be hitting the go button. They send 2 pieces of utility as a distraction, and they follow it up beautifully with their assault rifle. Rodzi getting the shot down as well. And this round is all UW Gold, baby. Wing is going to have to pull out a miracle here, and it's 1 versus 4. Full HP, I will say, so in a good spot to do it, but you're going to have to be taking down some pretty accurate headshots here. And the first one lines up, does not find the bullets. Tough, makes them count, finds the headshot. UW Gold 5-1.
Yeah, and I really wanted to compliment what UH Premier did right there. When we talk about using utility with intention, UH Premier did just that. I know they weren't able to take the round win, but the Cypher camera to slow teams down, as it looks like we have a bit of a tactical timeout. So I can go into big brain Speezy mode here and talk about utility and talk about what they wanted to do. So that Cypher camera slows down the push. The dark cover that we saw Lehman Way throw onto Cat, that's going to slow down the push as well. We don't have a Phoenix on either of these teams for someone who can get into the smoke and throw out a pop flash. Yeah, Koi has the Lear, but you can shoot that, right? It's not as effective as something like a Phoenix curveball. So it's very difficult to execute when a team is using utility like this. And I believe the tactical timeout is going to be called by UH Premier. They have some things they want to work over, and I hope they have some mathematicians on the team, because they have to be talking about economy right here, right now.
Speezy, I saw the tac pause come up, and I thought Lawrence or Hype Pro was a little indecisive, because it looks like tac pause. But no, that's University of Houston, guys. You didn't get fooled like me, I hope. And yeah, Speezy, I guess to the point you brought up last round, or just now, with that previous round's push, something that's really, I guess, interesting. I don't want to say interesting. I want to say different from the last time around is we're really seeing Damo and I guess Rodzi. And I guess, for the whole UW Gold team as a whole, they're really just playing with a lot more bravado. It looks like they're I don't want to say they're a lot more reckless, but they're a lot more confident in the way they're playing the game. They're not really second-guessing a lot of their movements. They're not second-guessing a lot of things they do. It looks like Ascent is just an overall much better map for University of W Gold than Bind was. And whether that comes down to just practice, whether that comes down to pure headspace, I guess that's going to be left to see how the rest of this map plays out, as we do finally get the game back in motion and we have ourselves round 7 underway.
We do indeed. The boys are in motion. They give you our devotion. Don't know if I have any Disney Channel 90s kids. Yes, beanies!
We give you our devotion.
Hope we don't get DMCA struck for that. It was a 5-second clip, and both of us are awful singers. But Koi, gonna spot out Crown right there. I would be shocked if Koi peaks this, because with a frenzy against a Vandal, you're probably not going to win. But one other thing we can talk about is ultimate economy. So UH Premier are going to have a From the Shadows and a Hunter's Fury, while UW Gold, they have the Blade Storm, they have the Neural Theft, and they have the Hunter's Fury as well. So if you're the side of UH Premier, get the spike down. Hope to heck that your Sova stays alive. I almost said that your beanie stays alive. I mean, you're the same person, really. But hope that your Sova stays alive and play off of that with the Hunter's Fury. But trades coming out as the Cypher and the Reyna are going to be taken down, one from UH Premier, one from UW Gold. Vex. That was just rude.
Yeah, it was a little rude. I mean, I will say he was going up against the pistol, so it's kind of like bringing a Nerf gun to a BB fight, but nonetheless, did get the 180 turnaround. Nicely done, and UW Gold sitting firmly in the driver's seat for this 7th round. And I mean, I just feel bad for University of Houston. They're just kind of like target dummies at this point. They don't have very much going for them. They have a Vandal here on Lee Wei, who, I mean, all things considered, I think you should be saving this Vandal for the next round. But we have seen hero plays come out from both sides. But when you drop to 20 HP like that, it really is not going to be a good time. Trying to save the round, and Toph reading him like a book takes down Lee Wei, giving another round over to the Gold.
Yeah, Gold is on top right now, 6-1, an extremely convincing half from them. And like I said, I think it all comes down to what you were talking about. They're playing with the swagger. They're playing with the confidence that we didn't see in map number 1, right? We saw a lot of times they were taking these gunfights and they weren't necessarily sure they should be committing to these gunfights. But also, we hyped them up a lot in the first map, and Koi is not really here right now. He's looking like me on our games earlier today, just waiting to hit that 1 in 10 power spike, you know?
That's where it really comes in. Once you hit your rock bottom, that's when you can really shoot up to the sky. You know, I learned that on the show Under the Sea. But Koi is going to be sending Crown 6 feet under right there. A nice little set of bullets going into the Sova's head. UW Gold going to have to try and cushion that blow here, as now giving the defense and numbers advantage is never a good time here. And Adam Soliman is going to press that advantage to the fullest, getting another one and possibly locking arms with Toph, but Toph is going to take that one, giving us a brief pause here between the two teams clashing as UW Gold are trying to decide the best route to take the site. It's going to be through market by the looks of it.
And that's going to be the Empress popped from Vex. Vex, you need to go huge with this. This is not an ultimate that you can waste. Use that rate of fire change, and there it is, going to heal as well. Little Jiggle Peek, get some intel. Oh, and gets the second one, and that's huge that kill actually went on to Vex, because that allowed Vex to heal up and get a little bit more information. Wing, you need to fly high. You need to fly strong. Right now, ducks fly together, but Wing flies alone. Can they clutch up? They have the Hunter's Fury. They have the Recon Arrow and 2 Shock Darts. So this is very winnable if you're UH Premier.
Yeah, we're just going to need to see if UH Premier has any more of those heroic plays left in them. Waterloo has not been relying on those heroic plays because, to be honest with you, the rounds they're winning are just consistently through their team play and the numbers advantage that they create. So it's going to be up to Wing to show off the mechanical power that we've talked about University of Houston having in this lineup. But as such, it's going to be no attempt on the bomb site. It's going to be a save coming in from the Sova here, as Wing is fully kitted out, Vandal, full armor and all. So you can understand the choice here, but that's going to cement first half going in favor of Waterloo. It just depends how far they're going to push it now, Speezy.
Absolutely. And I know we can't jinx it. We can't, Beanies. I know you see it. I know our viewers see it, but I'm not even going to bring it up. So what I'm going to talk about is the ultimate usage on that last round. Damo didn't need to, but knows they can get the frags to get another ultimate, hopefully within this half. I could absolutely seeing that happen. Let's take a look at economies as the force buy comes out from UH Premier. That's a Bulldog, 2 Vandals, a Spectre, and a Judge against 3 Vandals and 2 Phantoms on the side of UW Gold. The money's flowing right now. If you're UW Gold, you're feeling good. You feel like business is booming, if you will.
Business is always booming when you can land your shots, Speezy. That's something I've learned the hard way in this game many a times, as UW Gold are hoping to teach that lesson here at the University of Houston yet again, as it's going to be a site by the looks of things, but both teams just playing chicken, and finally it breaks out. Eric Appleson using the Judge, gonna find 2 right off the bat there, and as a minute is going to pass by here, UW Gold are losing all of their members one by one.
On target.
Oh, Crown says I got a little something for you. I might have a 4v1 up my sleeve. Looks like the flank, though, is going to be coming in. That's going to be the Omen of Lee Wei, working their way from behind. Staying patient, though, playing in Sabrosa position. For those of you that don't know, there's a couple of clips of Sabrosa going absolutely massive from that spot. So it is therefore named Sabrosa. I learned that the other day during the first strike UMG qualifiers. But back to the map at hand. Can Crown get the spike down? I highly doubt it. I think if you're Crown right now, you call the save. You guys have plenty of money, so might as well, but I'd hate to waste it here.
Yeah, now Crown has given away their position, so they're going to have to
10 seconds
fight
left.
or flight out of this spot, and it's going to be real hard to spread your wings and fly, my friend. That is not who you want to be staring down the barrel of. Eric Appleson grabbing a 3K and picking up only the second round win for Houston here. Very few and far between, and I guess we need to point out this feast or famine character that Koi is running with here, and Bex also to speak of. Both of the Reynas sitting down at the bottom of the leaderboard. Not getting a lot of usefulness out of that kit when you're sitting down at the bottom, as you brought up earlier.
But, Beanies, I will say Vex with those 8 assists, playing like a young Rajon Rondo, doing the dirty work to help the team. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe now with the recent patch, the Reyna Lears, curveballs, anything that blinds or impairs the vision of an enemy will give you an assist. So, I mean, it could be that. It could just be, you know, I'm tagging the players, not finishing off the kills. So, I can't flame Vex, but you should be doing a little bit more. You should at least be second or third on your team if you're going to play this character. As we see the fight for mid control, 4 players for the side of UW Gold are down middle. It looks like we have one on Cat. Crown going to start to rotate behind. Just making sure there's no one creeping up from spawn. Gonna check the flank as Ronzi takes down Adam Solomon. Gonna pop that neural theft. Can they get the intel they need here? I think if you're the side of UH Premier, you start to maybe press up just a little bit slower, play together, stick in your 2s, and as soon as you can find a pick onto a site, you gotta push it. So it looks like that's what Toph and crew are going to do. Can they bend the air? Can they bend this round in their favor?
30 seconds left.
Oh, you hear it there, folks. 30 seconds are left now. Wing holding on the back site is not going to be an easy spot to defend, but not many great things come easily, my friends, as Wing does take down one. And this is really going to put pressure on UW Gold, who now has the clock working against them, and the spike has been dropped. So now it's going to be do or die, execute or give up, my friends. You got to get the eliminations to win out the round, but there's too many members of the defense to deal with for our gold-plated characters, and that's going to be Houston taking another round here. 2 rounds left to go in the half.
Yeah, it looks more and more like we will see probably, I would say, an 8-4. 8-4 half, I would say. Let's give each of these teams, they'll probably split right here. Both have healthy economies. I want to see Adam on an operator, right? That's the whole reason you pick the Jet, get the early entry. As I say it, chat, do I have a 5-head? Do I have a 5-head?
Here. I'm guessing you have a little bit of a 5-head, my friend. And Adam Solomon has a beautiful left click, my friends, taking down UW Gold's Jet, going to give them a brief advantage as Vex evens up that score line. We mentioned wanting to see more from this Reyna, and already going to be seeing a little bit of that put to the test here in round number 11. Rodzi, though, going to be stopping Koi, who used the Empress at the worst time. But with Eric Appleson evening up the score there, it's going to actually give the advantage over to Houston. So they're trying to push the site now. You can see the crossfire held by Gold is pretty good, but it's going to be hard to defend, especially if you're that Reyna. You don't have much cover. You got to rely on your aim, and that's what happens when you rely on aim. You can't land the shots. You can't see, my friend. Damo going to try and be the hero that his team needs, but Lee Monway is his own Omen, taking down his counterpart. 3-7. You know what? Make that 4-7 for Houston, and we're going to be going into the final round of the half.
Yep, and as soon as I said it, the opening pick was able... Adam Solomon was able to get the opening pick with that operator. It's very difficult to retake a site with the operator. That's more than likely why we saw Adam Solomon fall. But again, his teammate there to get the job done, picks up the op, and they are looking to close out the half strong. 7-5 is not unwinnable, but it's difficult, especially when the easier side, your defensive side, is in the pass. So we're really going to need to see Koi go big. We're really going to need to see Adam go big on these entries. Oh, Adam's got the read, just barely misses the left calf muscle of the Reyna. That would have been a beautiful shot and a great read if Adam Soliman can hit that shot.
Very specific placement of the bullet. It's like an Achilles heel. It's the calf muscle that he was taking aims at, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Reyna's doesn't have the biggest character model. It's not like you're aiming at a brimstone, you know what I mean? Just got to take out the left calf. The right one, not so much. Left calf, it's like you have a nice little Infinity Edge from League of Legends and you get the crit.
That's what you need, folks. Whenever you want more damage, just put Critical Strike in your Valorant games. And actually, without even needing that to be expanded on, we can take a look at the A-site push, which going through Catwalk, it's going to be a cautious little push. You can see the smoke from Omen going to cut off that window access as they try to push through Tree Patch. And going on to A-site, it's going to be very difficult to push through. That Omen that UH Premier is holding down on A-site is going to be left
30 seconds
alone,
left.
but the rotate comes through and they're going to be eyeing up Market. And it looks like Market's going to be the choice because Speezy, they only have 20 seconds left, so it's going to be now or never. B-site has been decided upon, and Damo is going to be leading the charge, breaking down the doors, but Wing has propped them up with a few extra nifty spikes in hand,
left.
taking them down as well. Top really feeling that pressure, trying to push the pedal to the metal, but the metal flies back into her dome. With This Is Crown being the only member left standing, the defense is going to win out here. And UH Premier putting together a decent little streak at the end of a half that was dominated by University of Waterloo.
Yeah, and the early game, like you said, we saw them rip off 4 straight and then another 3 for University of Waterloo. But UH Premier trying to pull an inverse of what they did last game. Last game, it was they who got off to the hot start before cooling off a bit. So I really am excited for this second half. It's do or die now. Again, these teams could be either playing for the #1 seed, or they could be fighting against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights to keep their tournament life on the line. We will have another stream on Saturday with the semifinals of this tournament. So make sure you put it in your calendar. I will personally send you an Apple Calendar invite if you request it. Make sure you let us know. I will gladly do that for you. But before we get to Saturday, we need to get through today. This is going to be a quick execute. UH Premier looks to get on site. Their go button has been smashed. They're looking to collect that $200 from the Monopoly Man as trades are coming in. Toph takes down Koi. Wing takes down Toph. Crown going to find one with a shock dart, and Eric Appelson's going to find Vex. This is still in favor of UW Gold. It's 2-on-1. But the player is Eric Appelson. And if one player can make it count, it's going to be this guy right here.
Yeah, Eric has a tall task, though. He's got 2 members he's got to deal with, and both of them are staring right at his face. He takes down one, but he cannot finish off Damo. Again, one of the key members here of Waterloo is going to be getting the 8th round victory here for them. First round of the half.
And that's UH Premier's playstyle, right? They like to push when they're on the attack. They like to hit that go button, and once they commit, it's a full send. All 5 players. You're gonna see a Cypher Cage, you're gonna see a Recon Drone, and you're gonna see a couple of dark covers come out as well. So it's not shocking. What is shocking is this force buy. Oh boy. This is going to be fun to watch. We have 4 Stingers, heavy shields, and a Frenzy with light. Oh no, Stinger with light shields as well against full Spectres and a Judge. This is make or break right here. UH Premier betting on themselves. Adam Soliman just get on site already?
Oh my gosh, Adam Soliman just booked it, and now Toph somehow is still alive through all of this. UH Premier just fell apart at the seams. UW Gold in an incredibly crucial second round of the half. Get a flawless, Speezy. A flawless.
Oh, that's so unfortunate if you're a Cougar UH Premier fan. But if you're a Waterloo fan, boy, oh boy, was that pretty. Toph doing exactly what that Jet's supposed to do, causing havoc, get the early frag, backdraft out, and just stay alive, allowing the team to rotate and take over the rest of that round. look at the economy. This round 3 is typically when you see the gun rounds come out, but UH Premier looks like they're going to see a couple of sheriffs and possibly some light shields, if that. This is a very, very uphill battle. But Wing, is that through the wall?
Ooh, nice little shot through the wall there. Going to be opening up the door here for University of Houston, but it all depends on how UW Gold can try and keep that dang door closed. It's going to be hard with the hinges broken off, but maybe they can prop it up somehow, as Rodsy's going to be holding off multiple members here, but he just backs away, valuing his life for the time being, and that just gives Toph a freebie. 2 shots to the back, 2 eliminations, just like that. UW Gold back in command of this round, as the spike has been dropped in plain sight of everyone, and the remaining members of the offense were just sitting ducks, Speezy. 10-5, UW Gold is having their way with UH Premier.
Yeah, and UW Gold is making a statement right now. Damo 18-4, Rodsy 13-10, Toph at 11-10. Crown sitting pretty with an even score line, but Vexed still 9 assists. That's absurd to me on a character like Reyna. Beanies, a couple of patches ago, didn't we see a shotgun nerf as well as a jet nerf? I think Toph's running the wrong patch. There's no way Toph should be allowed to be doing this.
I think Toph just supersedes patch notes kind of thing. It's like when Toph wants to make some bullets land, they're going to do the damage Toph wants them to do. And we've been learning that throughout this series.
Yeah, that is right. Toph is playing a completely different game, causing chaos and causing havoc. Let's see if they can continue that theme as UW Gold looks to cruise on to map number 3. But there's still plenty of Valorant left to be played, and UH Premier slowing things down a bit, looking to establish mid control. Again, we see them use their own dark cover that's going to go on and cover Catwalk, and there's already a dark cover down on Arches. Vex, can they get a little frisky? Push it. You won't, Vex. You definitely won't. Oh, I would love to see this. Little smoke criminal action. Little Stewie 2K. Little Vexy 2K. Going to throw out the Leer. Immediately shot down. That's going to let Vex know, hey, there's a player on Cat. Let's back off and play a bit more passive in a different angle.
Yeah, and this has put the round to sort of a standstill here, as it's going to force UH Premier to evaluate all their options. Specifically, Eric Appleson is going to have to be careful here. The lone member on the opposite side of the map is drawing over some attention, and that's going to be exactly what Houston needed, because now UW Gold is going to try and book themselves back to B site, but it was far too late. Can't even get through the smoke there, and that's going to be Houston set up on the site, taking down Toph, who had used the Blade Storm, now giving the offense firm control of the site, flipping them onto the defense here with 5 versus 4. It's going to be tough for Gold to break through.
It certainly is, but it's not impossible. No ultimates on either side, but plenty of util left. Ooh, unfortunate shot there from Koi. I thought the crosshair was on the head. Must have still been moving. Great Premier looking to hold tight. Eric Appleton. Beautiful double kill from him, as UH Premier is going to secure their 6th round. And Beanies, that's what we're talking about when we say using utility with intention, right? Throwing out those dark covers, throwing out the recon drones, following those abilities up and getting something out of it. We saw that on Catwalk when Wing threw out the recon drone and pushed Vex off into Tree Room, allowing them a bit more space. That's really all it is just a game of inches, a game of space. The more you can take, the easier it's going to be when you get onto that site and really execute.
Now with round 17 commencing here, folks, gotta keep in mind UW Gold still sitting in the driver's seat, so they can afford this wiggle room that they are giving over to UH Premier just a little bit, but you don't want to get too complacent if you're in the driver's seat like you are right now. Just gonna need to keep the pressure on the jugular of UH Premier, who is going to be walking through A site what looks like very shortly. A nice cage there. Eric Appleson has the nice predictions there, the nice lineups for the cage. Getting some clear passes there onto site, and Rodsy just barely missing out from sneaking under that doorway is going to be left on the other side, and we have a clean plant going off until afterwards we start to see everything fall apart. 2 members, 3 members going to be dropped there on the offense. UH Premier is left with their jaws agape, wondering where it all went wrong, and UW Gold, mere seconds after the spike gets planted, is able to take the site and get the defuse.
Yeah, and a great round from the side of UW Gold there. They held strong. They executed with a plan. I do like Rodzy's idea to sneak under the door, but it was a bit of unfortunate timing as that thing closed just in the nick of time. And again, look at what Vex has done. I know he's at the bottom of the table, but when's the last time, Beanies, you've seen a Reyna go 11 kills and 11 assists?
Probably the last time I played her.
Okay. I mean, it probably wasn't on Icebox because no one likes Icebox.
That's a you thing, Speezy. Everyone, Speezy tries to blame Icebox for his 1-14 score line, but you can't blame that when we're on Ascent here, folks. And UH Premier, right now the only things they can be blaming are themselves in this game, but they are tired of making excuses and they are going to put their money where their mouth is, getting 3 quick eliminations there, but it's going to be Crown just waiting to finish off one member, but that's going to be just near chump change in the round overall because UW Gold gets dropped very quickly, 7-11. UH Premier.
Yeah, and UW Gold invested a lot in that round. They picked up the operator on the side of Toph, but that was quickly taken out. They popped the Blade Storm on the side of Toph as well, and he was able to get 1 kill down in Market, if I'm not mistaken. Or excuse me, that was Adam Solomon who used the Blade Storm in Market. So a lot was invested. It looks like Rodzy as well. Rodzy may have his ultimate this round. You can fight for that orb down on a long. Not a bad idea. Get the frag, get the neural theft out, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case as this Reaver operator looks to take a head off. Now, Beanies, we have to mention the skins in this game because we've seen quite a couple of good ones right there. We have the Oni Phantom, we have the Prime Vandal, we saw the Reaver Vandal and the Reaver operator as well. So all skins, no skill, but we've seen some great skills as well. The Dragon Elder Flame Vandal going to work there. A 5v1 advantage, 5v4 advantage for the side of UW Gold.
And now it's going to be UH trying to make up for that, and it's almost a little worse than said because that Reyna is sitting at about 20 HP or so, 25 HP. And, you know, given the opportunity with a Soul Orb, Reyna can recover, but Toph is going to make sure Eric Appleton has no chance of responding within any shots of their own. That's going to be UW Gold widening that lead here. And as Catwalk is the pathway of choice again, we've seen A time and time again be a safe bet here for UH Premier early on, but it's going to depend on
30 seconds left.
Seconds. They push onto the site. The execute is called, but that's just going to be lambs to the slaughter here as UW Gold get themselves into game point here, 12-7.
I mean, UW Gold has turned it on. These players are playing so well right now, and it's consistent too, right? First map, there was the lack of consistency. We saw it in a couple rounds here, a couple rounds there. So very, very well done. I'm applauding what they can do. And I've just been informed that map number 3, should we get it, seeing as it is map point, would be Haven. And oh boy, we can see some fun on Haven. That's where we're looking at Toph and Adam Solomon to break out those operators. There's a lot of long sight lines and a lot of chaos will come if we get to Haven.
Well, that if is looking more of a guarantee than anything. Sorry, my words bumbled up there, but Eric Appleton firmly in control of their aim, going to be taking down Vex, giving a much needed advantage here to the offense, but it's going to be given a nice little seesaw effect here until Crown sinks their fangs into this engagement. And you know, I can't even call the action fast enough between the trades because they're just back and forth here over on B site. And we're finally given a reprieve from the action as it's going to be Lemon Way teleporting over the A site. We knew that Dama was on B, and without the ultimate to respond, and honestly didn't even need to consider responding with that ultimate, it's going to be up to Dama to pull off a 1v2 here. And he, you know, I will note he has the credits to go for something risky here, so why not try and make your name in history, my friend? Take down University of Houston in a clutch 1v2. It's going to be Damo, the carry of this entire game here for UW Gold, trying to set themselves up to finish off this game, send us into a game 3, and it's going to depend on the spike. It's going to depend on if the eliminations can come through fast enough, but Damo cannot sniff out any of them. He finds one elimination. He's trying to find the second. He baits out the paranoia, but that's going to be good patience coming in from Lee Monway, who finds the shot. takes down his counterpart, and University of Houston stay alive here in game number 2.
Yeah, Lee Munway finds a way, and a great post-plant situation there from Lee Munway and Eric Appleson. Great awareness to realize the bomb's down. The spike is down. I have from the shadows. You gotta use it. You can't take it home with you. It's match point. Why not full send it right on over to that A site, and it works out beautifully. So UH Premier, great awareness right there, and it looks like both teams are going to have one ultimate. UH Premier is going to have the Empress, and UW Gold with the Neural Theft. So both of these could do quite a significant amount of work. It's all going to depend on, though, they're both going to need to get a frag first.
Rodzi lying in wait here around the corner. He's got the smoke to play with. So does Adam Soliman, and this is about to blow over very shortly. A nice flick right there to connect with the headshot. Does get the neural theft down. So important to note there, Speezy. Even with Cypher being eliminated, the ultimate was used. So UW Gold does get the very vital information. But now it's going to depend if that was a worthwhile ultimate, because that information at this point feels all but useless with so much maneuverability possible here for the offense. But it's going to be a market push here onto B site, as the Empress has been used here by UH Premier. They are going to be putting all their eggs into this basket, and why not? You got to make sure you don't lose a single round here. Koi and Lee Munway picking up eliminations. Top coming from the backside, trying to find one, trying to find a second, but Eric Appleson stops Top in their tracks. The spike will get planted here, and as it's going to be a single Reyna having to go up against 3 members here, and one of them being a Reyna with the Empress. Vex is going to have to play hero. A very difficult spot. Does see Cypher, you gotta think, saw Cypher peek right there. And now with the Lear is gonna be trying to throw that out. Gets sniffed out. Oh no, nice job right there, hiding from the recon dart. But still, even with that hide, the spray through the wall does do a little bit of damage, and that's gonna be enough to soften them up for Koi to sink their fangs in and finish Vex off. UH Premier, they are on game points. They cannot afford to lose a single round, but they're fighting back, Speezy.
They certainly are, and a beautiful post plant again from the side of UH Premier. They set up a very, very simple and an easy to execute crossfire, and they did just that. They executed that beautifully. So let's see if they can keep this up. I'm looking at Eric Appleson right now, trying to will this team to victory. 20-13 on a Sentinel. It's not something you see every day. That's why Eric Appleson is your observer's favorite player. As Toph goes up high in the sky and takes down Adam Solomon, that's going to be a huge frag to start this round and give the man advantage. But Wing says, you want to see something fly? I'll show you this, Wing, and grabs a headshot onto Damo as they pull one back and make this a 4v4. Both these teams are getting quite innovative with some of the stuff we've seen here. Toph's got one kunai left. Can he get the reset? Picks up the Spectre. Okay. Oh, Vex with a one tap and a great switch from the observers to see that. Stinger diff?
Crown getting a shot in, but that's going to be the reload screwing him over there. So Lee Munway is going to get a brief reprieve there. And now UH really with their first bad round since, I want to say, 3 or 4 rounds have passed. So it's going to be a 2 versus 3, a disadvantage for them to have to deal with. And UW Gold pushing in from the exact same location, all 3 of them. Not starting off too strong, but Lee Munway spraying through the wall, takes down Rodzi. And now this is going to be a 2 versus 2 that's firmly possible for UH Premier to take. They have the HP bars, they have the peakers advantage, but can they hit the shots? They get one off the back of Eric Appleson, and with Toph going down, it's going to be left up to the 2 remaining members. But Vex, he gets one, he gets the solar, he looking to peek for the second, but he can't find the second elimination. UH Premier, they are fighting for their lives.
Yeah, the Cougars are not giving up this hunt just yet. Where there is a will, there is a Lee Munway. What a frag through the boathouse. Was able to take down a player and bring things onto a 2v2. That was a beautiful frag, and that's someone who's been putting hours into this game. You have an idea as to where they are? Hey, might as well give it a little pre-fire through the wall. Hope for the best. A little wall bang never hurt anyone, but wow. UH Premier fighting back. They were at what? UW Gold had 5 match points, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Crown gonna spot out 2 players with that recon arrow.
Koi starting it off for them. Adam Sullivan also getting a nice elimination early on for UH Premier, but UW Gold is able to possibly slow it down for a moment. Still going to be 3-on-2 in the favor of the offense here, and yet again going to B site. So UH Premier consistently getting control of B site here for it feels like the 5th time in a row at this point. And they're just doing the same thing over and over again. They bum rush B site, take control, get the back site, and then they just hit their shots straight up. As you can see, it's UW Gold just trying to even get close is a task in of itself with all the utility still left available for Houston.
Yeah, there's still plenty of utility to be used. It looks like that's going to be, Wing, this is Crown, has the recon drone. Are they even going to try for this one? Or are they just going to go for the exit frags?
Oh, that was close right there. The heads were lined up. It was almost UW Gold's to take, but Houston is able to survive another round. And Speezy, we are 1 round away.
Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. Don't. Oh, he said it, the caster curse. Beanies, if UW Gold win this, you're going to have some very upset Cougars fans in your Twitter DMs tonight. I can feel it in my bones.
You know what? Sometimes you just have to speak it into existence, and if you're going to be looking towards the caster, then you might as well just look towards me because I'm willing to put myself out there. Bada bing, bada boom.
I respect it. Let's take a look at these ultimates in this round that could possibly take us into match point. That's going to be Toph with the double updraft spots. 1. Ultimates. UH Premier has a Blade Storm, a Neural Theft, and a Hunter's Fury, whereas UW Gold has a From the Shadows and an Empress. So UW Gold with 2 very, I would say, more passive ultimates because you have to find a frag to use the Empress, and the From the Shadows can't really do any severe damage other than a rotate. But the Blade Storm can get you a frag. The Hunter's Fury can get you a frag safely and get you a man advantage. As I say that, though, it's going to be Koi who pops that Empress on UW Gold. So, going to be Vex who pops that. Going to be very, very dangerous here. I would not want to see Vex right now.
Well, Vex has to get moving a little bit because that Empress is about to run out. And as he peeks, he runs into yet another Reyna. So both of them taking some shots at each other, but nobody eliminated just yet. Very, very close. This is basically on a nice edge at this point. 1 slip up, and you're going to be looking at a lost round here, folks. And
30
who knew it?
left.
It's going to be B-site yet again. This is Crown gets pushed up, but somehow survives through the paranoia. Gets 1, gets 2. This is Crown playing hero right here, but then the round gets evened out by Houston somehow getting 3 straight eliminations. And with Toph trying to respond alongside Rodzi, it's the same exact scenario here, Speezy. It's B-site in control of Houston. It's B-site where the spike is going to get planted. And it's B-site where Houston might be sending us into an overtime if Rodzi can't get this clutch. But Rodzi, 100 HP, no armor, 53 HP after
now.
The shock arrow, no HP after the bullet from Koi. And just like that, Houston has sent us into an overtime.
Ladies, what did we just witness? They ran 5 straight. 5 straight where their back was up against the wall and they came out swinging. Every shot, it felt like, for the side of UH Premier started to hit. That B site, if you're UW Gold, you have to be switching the defenders on that because that's 5 straight rounds where they have executed on that site and you haven't been able to stop it.
Oh man, do you believe in miracles, my friends? This game, for 80% of it, was the Damo story. This man was absolutely rolling University of Houston, carrying UW Gold on their back. This is Crown was even joining in the fun. But then Eric Appleson and the rest of UH Premier woke up, realized they were in the position to move on to this tiebreaker with the Scarlet Knights potentially. And they knew they had to get this game win. They knew they couldn't go to a game 3. And Houston's trying to sell it right here, right now. But Gold, they have life left. They still have these overtime rounds in Gold. And with Gold being on the offense here, Speezy, it's a new look for them that they haven't seen since the first half.
Yeah, and UW Gold's offense looked extremely, extremely strong. That's where we saw them rack up a couple of rounds there, but the defense is where they're lacking. And if I'm the side of UH Premier, I'm saying, hey, one round at a time, one frag at a time, slow it down. I'm very surprised we didn't see attack pause come out from the side of UW Gold, just as like a soft reset, right? You know, in football, you try to ice the kicker. In Valorant, just ice the aims. Oh, as that Eric Appleson finds one. Adam Solomon's going to find another. And Lee Munway goes huge.
Oh, no.
This is a massacre.
Oh, my God. Speezy. I don't know what happened there, but UH Premier.
Switching sides.
What's that spike rush pickup when you get the heat-seeking bullets? Because I think UH Premier picked that up like 6 rounds ago, and the game just forgot to shut it off, you know? It's just been running.
Tracer bullets are absolutely live right here, right now. Let's take a look at this scoreboard, though, as we have all players are... There's only really 2 pop-off players, being Eric Appleson and Damo. I mean, Eric Appleson was much more quiet than when we witnessed the Damo show in the first half, but all these players are extremely consistent in their performances right now. I want to bring up the point that when we saw that attacking round from UW Gold, as I say that, Adam Solomon caught out in no man's land, no one on his team behind him, and that's going to slow the B push of UW Gold. They stacked that site, Beanies. There was 3 players on that B site. They know it's a weakness, and they were not going to get exposed again.
Yeah, what's the saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 5 times, shame on me. Something like that, right?
I think that's how it goes. I'm pretty sure. As long as it's not Icebox, I mean, you don't have an excuse. But we'll see that later in this month when Icebox joins the competitive rotation of maps. If we do go into a third map, UW Gold has to run back to right here. We will be going on to Haven. However, this is still very winnable. UH Premier down a man. Are they going to execute onto A site? We haven't seen this in a while.
No, we haven't. But remember, A site is still an option. There are 2 spike sites on this map, folks, in case you may have forgotten. And Wing is going to open this up for his team. Eric Appleson
30
also
seconds left.
getting an elimination. So Speezy, this could be UH Premier finishing off the comeback. Lee Munway and gets an elimination. There's only 2 members left of the gold squad here. 2 members left of the defense. This has to be a miracle play from Crown.
Beanies, look at the dark cover. The dark cover that came out from Lee Munway bought them so much time because that player in Heaven can no longer push. That's going to slow down everything that UW Gold tries to do. Wing takes out Rodzi. We have ourselves in a 1v3. This is Crown trying to proclaim themselves the king. But Koi is a big fish in a small pond as UH Premier runs back 7. Count them 7 straight to take this match 2-0. What a game.
Oh my gosh, Speezy. I can't even put in the words what I'm thinking right now, let alone try and talk about that. University of Houston, as you said, came back 7 straight rounds, winning 5 rounds on game point. University of Houston, 7 straight to come back, take game 2, and get themselves up to 3-0 in group number 4, wow. Sitting so pretty at the top, just waiting to see if the Scarlet Knights are going to meet them there for that tiebreaker. But my God, Speezy, to get to this 3-0.
If you're a Cougars fan, you have to be excited. I mean, you saw it in the first half. Okay, we'll start to heat up soon. Maybe we'll close it out. Maybe we'll go to map number 3. Absolutely not. Eric Appleson, Wing, Lee Munway, Koi, and Adam Solomon, team shut it down. If we take a look at the scoreboard here, the combat scores pretty even fragging across the board, I would say. Only person going a little bit above and beyond is Eric Appleson. But if our observer can pull up the timeline, don't know if we can do that. I would love to see exactly what happened here. Look at that ending, Beanies. That is 7 straight.
Yeah, 19 through 26 right there. You can see, folks, Houston storming back here on Ascent. And I mean, the entire match, we were talking up Waterloo's abilities to just execute on this map. The mechanical performance from Damo was unstoppable, but it was the stick-to-itiveness of Houston that showed to prevail today. And honestly, folks, I cannot wait for our interview because we're going to be getting to talk with one of the members of University of Houston in just a few moments. So don't go anywhere, guys, because we're going to be hearing from that winning team in just a few moments.
how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued because of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, when I get in my crew, boy, you can't get in my crew. Me, XL, and Hubo, way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah, I got the juice. Yeah, I got the juice. Whip game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing.
I don't wanna see you, but you fall apart. Even though you told me take it back your heart, I still spin inside your orbit. Yeah. You say that I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you stop and make me have to stay, cause I'm floating in your orbit. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. It's my luck, put me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand, come on, name, you understand, I wanna stay. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. It's my luck, put me away, you
No, you, all right.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else. Welcome back here to CF1, and we just got finished up with a hell of a comeback here by University of Houston, and now we have one of the members of that comeback team, one of the star players, Eric Appleson, joining us. Eric, thanks for coming out here.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and so I guess first things first, I want to get your thoughts. Now, this is going back to the start of the series here, but you're coming in, you're playing against Waterloo, you've played against them before. What was preparation like? How did you guys feel coming into this?
I mean, last time we played against them, I feel like we really underestimated them. Like, we did not have a great game, but coming to this, we knew we had to respect the opposition, and we were just ready. I think that's really all it is. We were just more ready this time. Like, tactically, not much difference, just more confidence.
Absolutely, and I want to get your thoughts on Koi's performance in that first map where you guys kind of just let him run wild, do his own thing. Is that something that you guys typically see, or is this the rare performance where Koi's just feeling it and you got to enable him?
Yeah, no, that's... I mean, I don't want to say it's a one-off because Koi's a great player, but no, for sure, Koi's great. We know we can do those kind of clutches every now and then, but heck, that was probably the best one I've seen him do in a tourney setting.
Yeah, honestly, it was beautiful to watch, and the mechanics carried over into game number 2, but not in the way you guys had probably thought. Now, talk to me early on. You guys are down, I think it was maybe 5-0 at one point, maybe 5-1, and then the tactical timeout comes in. What kind of adjustment comes in there? How do you guys bounce back and go throughout the rest of the game?
Yeah, so we realized we're giving up too much map control. We were playing too passive, too scared. And we figured we had to do something. I think we called it like after an eco, so we lost the next one, but it definitely helped us get more into the swing of just changing up our whole gameplay. And I mean, you saw the results. We got a couple of rounds off of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. The results speak for themselves. You guys went ballistic going on a 7-round win streak. During that, knowing that this is match point, your backs are against the wall, you win this game and you secure a spot in the knockout stages. What are those communications like? What's going through your head personally? Are you trying to keep everyone calm, even-headed, or are you guys getting hype, popping off, and just boasting each other up?
I'll be honest, usually we're a pretty quiet team, but like those last few rounds, we were just like the comms. They were just insane. That's all I gotta say. Like I won't go into too much detail, but I mean, like there was yelling, there was screaming. It was great.
And I guess just to follow up on Speezy real quick, in those final rounds, I feel like those kind of situations you can't really prepare for as a team. You know, when it really is pressure's on, you got to perform. So what was it like for you guys when that happened? Who really took control of that situation, or was it more of a sort of communal kind of shared burden?
I mean, we have a very like loose IG yelling style, so generally we try to work together, calm together, and I feel like we just sort of came together, and I don't know, like a sort of mental switch flicked in that moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, that mental switch proved to be exactly what you guys needed. Like Speezy said, 7 straight rounds, and now you guys have guaranteed yourselves a spot in the playoffs. So honestly, Eric, very big kudos over to you, my friend. Well deserved. Congrats on the win today.
Thank you.
Congrats on making it into this weekend, where you guys, I believe, are waiting on the results of the Rutgers matchup, depending on how that's going to go for who's going to get first and second and playing for that and whatnot. But regardless, good luck with this weekend. And honestly, thank you for giving us a hell of a show tonight, my friend.
Oh, thank you for having me. Man, it was great.
And with that, guys, I guess it's going to be time to close out another CF1 broadcast. So without further ado, on behalf of myself, Speezy, Hyproxima, Lawrence, and everyone else behind the scenes here at CF1, thank you guys for coming out and supporting College Valorant. And we hope to see you guys for our next broadcast. So please stay tuned to the channel. We'll be back shortly, but not tonight.